Another question to consider when establishing your domain is whether you should use subfolders or subdomains. There are several factors to consider when deciding this question. First, you need to look at the topic of the structure you're setting up. If you do subfolders, then your topics should be consistent with whatever your domain is about. If you use subdomains, then it doesn't matter the topic of your root domain, since both Google and Bing consider a subdomain as a completely different domain from the root domain. By only using subfolders with your domain, any tweet, Facebook, share, or Google plus ones will be added to the overall strength of the entire domain. Therefore, as you build a social campaign for your different pages in each of your subfolders, the more powerful your overall domain becomes. Whereas this obviously is not the case with subdomains. However, since subdomains are not associated with the main root domain, it also means that they are much easier to replace. If you go to herbaldoc.com, you will see that the site redirects to www1.herbaldoc.com. The www1 is actually a subdomain, and I'm redirecting the root domain, herbaldoc.com, to this subdomain. Over the years, I've learned that even when I think I'm following all the rules of the search engines, I can still get penalized. In the past, if I wasn't able to figure out why I was penalized, I would have to throw away the domain and start all over again. By using a subdomain, this isn't an issue. I can now just change the subdomain to www2 and get rid of www1. Of course, doing this will set me back, but at least I don't have to go and get a new domain and start the process all over again. When you are using subfolders, it isn't necessary to have new content for each and every subfolder. Having fresh content is important when ranking in the search engines. If you have multiple subdomains and also a root domain, then you will need to provide content for your domain and each subdomain. However, for many companies, this is desirable. I managed a behemoth website for a large corporation. It was much easier for them to segment their traffic and provide the analysis they desired by using dozens of subdomains. Each of these subdomains represented different departments in their company, and it made sense. Yet most business websites are not this complex, and it doesn't make sense to have more than just a few subdomains if this is going to be the route you want to go. Overall, using subfolders are a better user experience. It is what the web is familiar with. Providing a strong subfolder structure will make it dead simple for the user to figure out. With that said, subdomains do make it easier to target the keywords you are going after. This doesn't mean you should go and set up a different subdomain for each keyword you are targeting. In fact, the search engines do not look favorably on this sort of tactic. Instead, this point goes back to how subdomains allow you to separate different subject matters and not have a mess in your keyword campaigns. Ultimately, the answer to whether you should use a subfolder or a subdomain boils down to whether you want to have synergy or separation with your domain. If you can answer this question, then it will be clear which path you should go.